Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the greatest show on earth. That is the AC Show. I am Chris, aka Mr. Carol Science, and this good-looking, strapping young gentleman to this side of me, whatever side it is, because I can't tell because things are not mirrored in StreamYard like they usually are, is...
Oh, hello. Hi, everybody. It's Aaron, the handy outdoor nerd.
So, just so you guys know, when we originally started this show, which has been well over a year, it's not been 2 years, but it's been like a year and a half at least.
Yeah.
Right? When we first started this show, we were streaming at 2:00 in the morning, super late at night. And the reason why we were doing that is because that was the best time that we had to be able to do this. And now we stream at a little bit different time, but we still stream pretty late. And the reason why we do that is because, we do this so that people can go back and watch it later. And it's just us kind of hanging out. This is the time that we have. So if you are here live, we greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. And we really enjoyed the interaction and the witty banter back and forth that we get to have with you guys. If you are not watching this live and you're watching this later on, again, thank you so much. Appreciate every view, just the fact that you guys care enough about us to sit back and watch the show. We greatly appreciate, and things are going to start changing really soon, I think, because we are going to be going back to a more structured layout of the show. I have been super lazy and not structuring the show very well at all, and not keeping track of what segments we're doing and things like that. And I'm going to get back into that, as well as I'm going to start posting some more original content on my channel besides just the AC Show streams, which I know you guys love and I love to do. But I want to get back to videoing and showing off some of my cool projects, because now I teach robotics instead of science, even though I'm still going to be Mr. Carl Science. I've got some really cool robotics stuff going on that I want to show off. So
Dono arigato, Mr. Roboto. Dono.
That's it, man. So, funny side story. I was sitting in my robotics team, and I was looking up some music, and I just went on to Spotify, and I was just like robot. I just typed in robot, and there's like a whole bunch of playlists that are just robot music. And so I pushed play. I just pushed play. I figured there's gonna be songs like Mr. Roboto and stuff like that on there, and this song comes on, and I was like, it's pretty catchy, good little beat or whatever. And then it just starts like this disgusting spew of swear words, like the F word and everything, like in front of my 7th and 8th grade students. And I was like, I even looked through the list and looked for the little explicit symbol to make sure that none of the songs were bad. And the explicit symbol wasn't even there. And it turned out that I guess I had done it like on the day that they updated it. And instead of it saying explicit by the title, it just has like a little E in like the top right corner, like way off in the middle. You don't even notice. Anyways, that was really fun when I'm sitting there with a bunch of 7th and 8th graders, and all of a sudden it's like, F me like a robot. And I was like, sorry.
That's a bit funny, Chris.
But anyways, yeah. The embarrassing things that happen to you when you are a middle school teacher.
That's funny. Well, you've seen what I've been doing this week.
I have. That is actually
multiple times.
I was going to ask you if after you did the engraving, if you seal it.
Kathy!
Hey, Kathy, how you doing? I always feel weird. Like, is it okay for me to say good day? Like, can I say that back to you, or is that just like,
mate?
Or well, I mean, I'm not gonna like. I mean, I have in the past mocked an Australian accent, but I'm, becoming a better person. But is it okay for me to say good day like back to you, or Is that just like, dude, you're American, you can't be saying that stuff. All good.
I watched a video and it had this Aussie guy talking about my brain just went my brain's trying to make sure I'm getting it right for the restaurant name. Outback Steakhouse.
It's not where I saw that going, but okay.
And whether it's accurate, this, that, and the other, and is really kind of funny. He said they suck at the accents horribly, but everything else is fairly spot on. I mean, other than like their steaks suck. This is what this Aussie guy was saying, and he went and typed up this thing, and I'm not sure that I want to say it, but it was looking a lot like saying the C word in there. And stuff, and like it had a kangaroo on it and stuff, like stuff you can buy, like stickers and cards and stuff, and it was just but he said, we don't care. We don't care whether you slaughter it or not. We're Australian. It's all good. but
pretty laid back people, the Aussies, huh?
Yep. Yeah, but it wasn't saying the C word. I don't like the C word either. But it was, it's hard. It was hard to kind of explain the card. I could see it in my head.
For those of you watching, I think he's talking about carrot or cabbage, possibly. If you're under the age of 16, he's definitely he was meaning carrot. He doesn't like carrots. Is what he meant to say.
Croissant.
Croissant.
See, I'll just butcher it. No matter what I say. But no, it was just kind of funny on some of the stuff. People are like, oh well, do you guys not like this? It's like, he's like, why do people really care? Stop being offended by everything and thinking that you're offending us. We're Australians.
Aussies are a tougher breed. They don't get offended. They don't get their feelings hurt so easily.
So,
which is good.
I mean, Angus even says that, their normal speech, they say curse words in their day-to-day speech. Just how it is there.
Yeah. My wife's little sister, she's like, I don't know, 22, 23, something like that now. But she went on a mission for my church. And while she was there, she went to the UK.
Oh, yeah.
And so while she was in the UK, they swear a lot in their common vernacular. But he is in New South Wales. She actually went to Wales, which is interesting that you bring that up. Anyways, she learned, while she was in the missionary training center and stuff like that, that it's not considered a swear word in the UK. So people just say those words because they just, and this is one thing you got to realize about me too, is, when I was in high school, I probably told this story 100 times. When I was in high school, I swore in front of a pretty girl, and she looked at me like I was like a terrible, terrible person. And in my head, I was like, I'm never going to get a date if I swear. And I had a pretty bad mouth at this point in my life. Um, and I just decided in that moment that I wasn't going to swear anymore. And so it's been since 2005, 16 years. It's been 16 years since I've said a swear word. And I don't feel bad about it. But anyway, she started sending home these emails to her parents and with all these like swear words and stuff in them, and everyone was just like really uncomfortable. Like, it's just weird that you're on a mission, like as a missionary, and you're like sending us home these emails with all these swear words in them, and it was just weirding everyone out. And so finally, she was like, "Yeah, I don't feel right about it," so she stopped doing it. But it was like,
That's funny.
let's see. I am hoping that my wife doesn't watch this before. She doesn't ever watch the streams, but I'm hoping she doesn't watch this
Yeah.
before Mother's Day because I want to show off what I am making for Mother's Day. How do you change the color stuff in Fusion 360? Is there a way to do that?
Yes, Chris, there is a way to do that.
I'm sure that there is, but I just don't know how to do it because I don't know how to use Fusion 360. But
Well, I would pull it up, but Fusion is stupid, and I have to do it on one computer or the other, and I'm on my laptop right now, and I design on my Mac in the office, so that's not happening. But it's at the top left-hand corner, and you go in there, and you can create just change the material that it's supposed to be, whether it's supposed to be metal, wood, or whatever else.
oh, you change the material to change the color.
Mm-hmm. And changing that, you can also make it under preferences. Yeah, I was gonna say, Kathy, you started following me on Instagram the other day. So Kathy
Dude, what the
definitely
heck? How? What?
has seen what I've posted. But I haven't actually posted an actual photo of it. But to answer your question, on whenever it's engraved and stuff, what I do, it depends on what I'm doing. You can or you can just leave it as is. I've got a finishing kind of oil that hardens. It's got a wax in it. Yeah, I've not been on it other than just posting what I've posted recently.
Okay, wait, let's see. Oh, it is sharing. Okay, so this is what I'm making for my wife for Mother's Day, and it's a little bit crazy, but essentially, like, each one of these animals represents a different person in my family. Actually, I need to fix this because I want it to be 20 millimeters. But anyways, so basically each one of these didn't remember my family. So like I took all of our favorite animals and then I just put them together. So like my favorite animal is a giraffe, and so is my son's is a giraffe as well. And so, put these two together, it makes a giraffe. And my wife's is an elephant. My daughter loves bunnies. My son loves monkeys. And so it all fits together like a puzzle, like how your family like fits together, I guess. And then I'm printing them in our favorite colors. So my favorite color is orange. My son's favorite color is green. My wife is pink. My daughter is purple, and my son's monkey is going to be blue. So it's going to be real bright and colorful and stuff. And so that's what I'm making here for Mother's Day, is like a little puzzle that fits together with our whole family. And you can see how the pieces like kind of shape in with each other, how like the monkey's legs like follow the curvature of the giraffe's mouth and stuff like that. So the way that I did this is actually, I don't know, it's pretty strange. So what I did was I took, let's see if I can zoom out. Yeah, so what I did is I drew it by hand, like I hand sketched it, what I wanted it to look like. I kind of sketched it out just by hand, and then I took a picture, and then I took that picture and I put it in as a canvas in Fusion 360, and then I went through with a spline tool, and I tried to follow the spline. I tried to follow the lines with a spline tool, and then after I had my basic image put together, then I had to go back through and fix things and make it look, a little better, and fix the shape of the ears and fix whatever. And once I had it to where I liked it, then, whoops. Once I had it where I liked it, come on now, then I just extruded it up, and there it is. So it was kind of fun to make, but it was definitely a challenge because I'm just not, my Fusion 360 skills are not very good, but I feel pretty proud of this one because I made it from scratch. Like, it started as just a sketch in my head, and I made something that actually works well and fits well together. But I do have an issue that I wanted to pick your brain about, Aaron, and that is the giraffe here, because his neck is so long, it doesn't stand up on its own because it's too heavy, and it's heavier than, like, this is the pivot point right here, and so it actually like tilts and falls down forward. It works just fine when all the pieces are stacked together, like it's not a big deal. But I'm thinking, like, should I like drill a hole in here and put like a fishing weight like in the back foot or something to just like weigh it down, or do you think that would just,
I mean,
you know what I mean?
If you hadn't had it printed already, I would just make it have a hole. That way you could insert a weight in the back foot. That's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So,
see, and I would do that, except for the fact that that giraffe is big enough that I can only print it out on the only printer that I have right now, because I'm waiting for my Sidewinder. The only printer that I can print it out on right now is my Ender 3, and I broke the end stop on my Ender 3. I feel so stupid too. I watched a video like a million years ago by Chris Taylor, Naries, Today's 3D Print. You know who I'm talking about? Big guy, loves orange t-shirts.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
So I watched a video with him where he talked about, to get your print off the print bed, all you do is you take a chisel, you put it right at the base of the print, you just give it a little tap just to get it underneath, and then you can pry it up and it usually pops right off. And I was having trouble because my history with BuildTak, right? And how I can never get anything to stick to BuildTak. I just can't. I don't know why. I want to like BuildTak, but I just don't like it. And so I've got this BuildTak sheet on my Ender 3.
This episode is not brought to you by BuildTak.
Hey, but if BuildTak wanted to sponsor, I'm just saying, we can figure it out. But so I pushed my Y carriage all the way back. I took it's not a chisel, but it's like a sharpened scraper, And
Yes.
I put it up against the thing because what happened was I had my print bed too high because I couldn't get anything to stick to this BuildTak, and so I re-leveled my bed, and I re-leveled it perfectly If it was going to be printing on glass or on really any surface besides build tack, it would have been the perfect level. But because it's build tack, it has to be like a little bit further away. But every time I have it a little bit further away for build tack, nothing sticks to it. So I leveled it just like normal with a regular piece of paper, like I always do whenever I level my build plate. And this thing stuck like it was
Glued.
Legit bonded, like not just glue, like epoxied to the print bed, like it was not coming off. And it had time to cool down, and it was sitting on there for like 7 hours because it was done before I went to school, and I waited until I got home from school to try and take it off. And it was stucker than stuck. So I just took this little thing and I put it up against it and I just gave it a little tap tap. And when I went tap tap, I heard a crack and I went, what just broke? And I pulled my print bed back and I saw the Y end stop just fall off where it had just like shattered the plastic behind it. And I was like, dang it. Because I only printed the giraffe and the elephant. I still had the other giraffe and the monkey and the bunny that I still needed to print. And I was like, what the crap? What am I going to do now? So I pulled out my little monoprice that is not printing great, but it's printing. And I was like, I'm going to start printing stuff on this. And then I lost the memory card, and it's like the board's like overheating. I'm having all kinds of issues. I'm like, I need this Sidewinder X1 right now. I need it right now.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
That's a little funny.
But it's going to be done. I got the bunny done. The only thing I got left is just the monkey, and it's printing right now. It might even be done.
Nice. Here, I'm going to send into your messenger. That way you can just pull this up and show it on screen.
Which messenger?
Messenger, Facebook.
Oh, in Facebook.
Yeah. And sent.
Share screen. Share screen.
So for obviously those who haven't checked out my social media for the Handy Outdoor Nerd, I've been doing a cutting board for somebody. And this is the finished cutting board. It is a laser engraved recipe on it. Now, this isn't a usable cutting board. They weren't going to be doing it to be used, so it's just purely decorational. So
it's just decoration. What kind of wood is it? Did we answer this question? I feel like I've asked that already.
You asked me the question. It is poplar.
It's poplar. I like poplar.
The annoying thing is, I had it done, and I was still trying to figure out the laser power and everything on it, and why it wasn't doing what I was wanting it to do. Exactly. So it had the engraving part, but it wasn't dark. So what I did was I took some charcoal stain that I have for flags. And well, that didn't go over so well. Like I got it on there and it filled in the lettering perfectly fine, all that. But then I had to sand it down so I could get it off of the rest of it. And it was just like smeared. It didn't. It didn't work. So I had to
Didn't work out.
resand. I had to resand the entire thing down and get it nice and smooth down to a 600 grit. And I had been playing with the laser again to do, and then what it was is I was removing the background from the white background from the lettering, and it wasn't letting it be dark enough. No matter what I did, it just would not let it be dark enough. And so whenever I did the one that was with the background, it was dark enough. Now, whenever you go over and look at that dark grain on the poplar there, it gets really dark in those spots there. For whatever reason, like on dark parts of the wood, it burns darker. It's kind of interesting. But
it looks pretty good though. It really looks like the handwriting.
that's because it is the handwriting.
I know, but I'm saying that the quality and the detail that your laser did is pretty sweet. It's pretty good.
So now I just want to cut stuff with it and see how well it cuts.
From what I remember on that laser, you can cut like up to 1/8 of an inch, but it takes 2 passes.
Yeah.
But if you were cutting out like little cards or whatever, that wouldn't be so bad.
So I was using Garble, and Garble, well, laser Garble, and that came with it, and it works great. And I can burn super dark with it and stuff. I've learned on how to make it darker and lighter, and just with the percentage, just figure that out. The problem is with that, I cannot change my orientation on where it sets very good.
What do you mean?
All right, give me a second. I will pull up, and then you can share my screen in a second. Also, when laser Garble starts up, it has a Rhyhorn.
That's what she said.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
The Pokemon?
Yeah.
Laser Garble. Oh, sorry, my back hurts. I need to stretch it out in a second here.
You're old, Chris. You're old.
Dude, I'm getting old. It's my birthday month.
I know.
I can always tell when it's my birthday month because Ace Hardware sends me a $5 gift certificate.
That's funny. All right. It only lets me share one at a time. So this this is Garble. So whenever I go and load a file, I'll do this one. I don't know if it's showing. Are you able to see the same screen that I'm seeing, like the one over the other? Or are you just seeing the first screen?
I do not see the additional screen.
Okay, so
is it a pop-up window?
Yeah.
Doesn't it give you the option to share an application?
Well, I did. See, I'll hit that. Share screen.
You could do entire screen. And then you could give us a little inception moment. But that's all right.
Okay, so there's this one here. So this is kind of what you go over and do, and it's not happy with me right now because it's trying to load. And I've got the quality up to 15. 100 there.
So yeah, 15 lines per millimeter.
Yeah.
So that's the equivalent of the 3D printer printing at, let's see, that's what, like point.
It's high quality print.
Yeah, but I gotta know the math. I gotta know the math.
Well, you do the
What is
math.
it?
My
Let's
brain's
see.
too tired.
I'm gonna do it. 1 divided by 15. 0.07 layer height.
Excuse me.
So that's pretty good.
There, I had to close it because it's just so funny that the stuff that they got pop up on it. All right, so I'm gonna share again, and so you obviously saw that screen there. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll just add in a file, and I'm going to just take it down so it's not that high quality because it's going to take a little bit longer. I'm just going to set it to 4. And then you actually can. Let's see. Oh, come on. I will just show you each window, the window that I need to show you because you saw the other one. So there's this one here. This little window that's got your size and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's how you pick your size for it. And then up here is your percentage. So you have to type in 1000 to get 100% because if you would put that decimal point, there's your 100%. But it doesn't take a decimal. So that is your laser there for your max strength. And then you can change this to constant power. I use dynamic power. And then my engraving speed is 3200
millimeters per minute.
Mm-hmm. Which with and I had this set at 75. Well, 75%. And it did really good. I can burn with this fairly decently. So I'll hit create. And it will take that away.
53 millimeters per second.
And then here is what it looks like.
That seems pretty fast. Oh, here.
Excuse me. So here it is. And then this goes up and down. So it's going from the top to the bottom. And then just as it passes by. And obviously the red is where it's lasering. And then the gray is just the path. Excuse me. But then you can see that's 200 millimeters at the very bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually more than that because you've got some offset spacing in whatnot. So it should be about 216, something like that, wide. And then you got your millimeters up on the top, on the side there going up. But the build volume is 400 by 430. So this doesn't allow me to move it around and configure it.
Yeah, but then what you do is you measure it out on your board and then you just mark the center, right?
Well, you can mark the center, but the problem is with that, that's going to start in the bottom corner, towards the bottom corner. So go ahead and pull this one up. This one will be a lot easier to show you. This is Lightburn. So this is Lightburn. So what I do is I take and I create a square, and I come up here and I go 234, tab down by 322. There is the size of the cutting board. And then I can, the entire square there that's on the outside is the build volume of the laser engraver.
Mm-hmm.
So then I can put this anywhere I want on it, and it will engrave. So I'll set that there. Then I come up and I'll add my file. And then you can see my file size. And then I can, this is telling me that it fits inside of this square there. And then I just line it up. So what I did with the original outside square there, this one, is I used it to burn a line, so I knew where to set my cutting board.
I mean, that makes sense, but that's not the way that I would do
it. Well,
that is a very
I knew
logical
exactly
way of
where
doing
it was
though.
going to be. That way I could have my actual cutting board, because I did have to cut a board to set on there underneath to give it a lift, because even at the lowest height with a little focusing block, I could not excuse me, I could not actually get the proper focus, so I had to put some little plywood underneath it. That's not exactly the same size. So let's see, my plywood sets here. Let's just delete that out. It sets more like that in it. So that's my volume of where I can actually set the stuff. So I wanted to be able to have it set properly and do what I need to do. But this is where I go to control my output. And is it showing the pop-up screen? Probably not.
It is.
Is it? Wow, okay.
It is.
So then you got your max power, and this is just showing the line because there's only the line, and I didn't want to cut a line. So then there you can see the images there. And then you got your speed, and I set this one down to 50 there, but you can change it to 3200. Then you can change a bunch of different settings in it. So I've got this on threshold. You can put it on pass through, which disables a couple of things. But then I just clicked OK. And obviously my laser's not hooked up, so this won't do anything. But then I can just tell it to home. You actually choose what COM port it's in. It's in COM 5. But you tell it to start, and then it tells you the percentage of your project and everything as it goes through.
That's cool.
But I can do this, and this is where this sets. And if I need to be able to know where I want something, like here, up here, this is where I can have my orientation of where I want it to start, or there's just a bunch of different options in it. But I also set it to beginner mode because I was trying to get it to work and it wasn't working. Oh, let's go to edit. There we go. There. Turn off beginner mode. So there you can see a little more stuff pop up here in the bottom right. But this is what I used. And yeah, it's fairly nice. It's I enjoyed it. And down here you can click devices and see I've got it set up for Garble. I can find or create or import another one if I saved one out. But this one is not actually free. This one, I've got a 30-day trial on it.
I mean, it's cool. I see the other one for me being that's just the other way is the way my brain works.
Oh no, and I did have to do that, but I didn't want to mess up, so I took my template that I have and I had it start to engrave on my template. Again, I wasn't sure where it was going to start, so I used my template and had it burn on that. And so it did that on the template, which was perfect. Because then I could see this is the size this is going to cut here. This is where this is going to set. And this, that, and the other.
Right. I get it.
But if... but I couldn't have it all the way over to the side. All the way over to the side wasn't going to work. And you also have to think, because it's setting on the V-slot rails. So you have that axis that's going forward and back, so you can't be all the way up against there. You be against the top and the bottom, but not on the sides all the way.
Trying to think if there's a way to fix that. I mean, I guess you could screw some thin, get some V-slot screws or whatever. And, you could screw on some acrylic panels or something on the sides so that everything fits like on the inside of it or whatever.
Well, it's not bad how I've got it set up, but I had it on that plastic table. I burned through cardboard straight onto the table.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, I need to go and put it in the shop on a wooden surface.
Something that's not going to melt the plastic. Did it just melt? Did it see a burn mark or what?
It left a little burn mark. It went right through the cardboard. Full on beam. It was just like Superman laser. Just oh man, I laughed. I was like, no.
That's funny. I'm really thinking about getting one of those lasers, but I just bought this 3D printer and I couldn't really afford. I mean, I can afford it, but I've told that story before too. I like to earn the money for something before I buy it. Even though I've got the money to just buy things.
Yeah.
Where we've got money in our savings and stuff, so I'm not broke. I'm not rich, but I'm not broke. But when I go to buy something, I always like to feel like I've earned it, and so I always come up with some sort of a project or something that I can sell or something, so that I can pay for it and feel good about myself. But I want to get one of those lasers. I don't have a project right now that I can make money off of.
Yeah. So I dang it. I saw one, not the version that I have, but another one on Facebook Marketplace for 200.
So I sent you that video, that guy reviewing it, that laser.
Uh-huh.
So I guess he reviewed one that was almost exactly like it, like 2 years ago or something like that. And there's a huge difference in quality, even though they look exactly the same. He's like, this one was straight garbage. It was awful. And so I would hesitate getting a different brand off Facebook Marketplace, even though it looks really similar.
Yeah,
You just never know what you're going to get with those Chinese companies, you know?
yeah, I really enjoy this one.
That's good. That's good. So what you're saying is I should get one.
Well, I'm not saying you should.
But I'm not saying you shouldn't.
That's correct.
Ooh, you know what you could do? I bet that you could 3D print some pieces that fit into that V slot that could act as barriers so that you could push your material all the way up against the wall to align it.
I could probably do that. But what I'm thinking on doing is I'm going to print little things so I can screw the feet into the table. So I won't do what I did the other day, and because I unplug my stuff whenever I'm done with it.
How dare you?
Especially a laser that could burn my shop down that has wood. And I bumped this stupid laser engraver with my butt a little bit, and it moved it. So then I had to realign by just burning on that surface again. So that was a little annoying, to say the least.
As annoying as breaking a Y-end stop the day before your 3D printed present is going to be given.
Yep.
I ordered some new end stops. They're supposed to be here tomorrow, but I think I'll have everything printed by then. But I'm probably going to print it again on my ender, even though the end stop piece is really easy to. It's just like a little chip. It's like this big. You just unplug it. 2 screws, pop it off. 2 screws, put the new one on. Plug it in. Bingo, bango, bongo. You're done. I'm probably going to reprint it anyways, even though I'm going to already have them printed out. I'm probably going to reprint them.
I can understand that. All right, that is done there. I've actually got a project I'm starting tomorrow with the laser. So,
Hey, if any laser companies want to sponsor the show or the channel, just let me know. We should start begging for sponsorships on Twitter and stuff.
I mean, it's usually not what I do. So,
while I was getting ready for the stream and my microphone was having issues and I was restarting my computer a bunch and stuff, trying to get it figured out. I was sitting there waiting for my computer to restart, and I tweeted out to Lego to send me a free robot for my son.
That's
I'm
funny.
like, I'm just saying, it's Teacher Appreciation Week, and my son really wants one of these We Do robots. Let's do it.
That's funny.
Kathy's profile picture on Twitter is like the Australian national team. There's women's soccer team or something. Or maybe it's rugby. It could be rugby.
Probably rugby.
That's really cool, man. I like your little laser. I want to get one.
It will burn your retina if you're not careful.
I want to also enclose it in a box with a vacuum. Maybe like a shop vac. You think a shop vac would work with like one of those fancy HEPA filters, or probably would clog like super fast? Huh?
That'd probably work pretty good.
The Brisbane Lions AFLW Grand Final winner team. AF Australian Football League for women. Is that it? Soccer, football, not rugby. I'm guessing based on AFLW. Australian Football League for women. That's my guess. AFLW stands for.
Could be.
I thought she was ignoring us for a little bit. I wanted to see if she was still paying attention. AFL, not rugby. Nailed it. Yeah. So Eddie went to send me that printer, and he goes to the post office, and they're having like a cardboard box shortage at the post office.
Huh.
Yeah, what the heck, right?
It's a bit ridiculous.
It's a cardboard box shortage caused by the 2020 toilet paper shortage.
It'd be rough.
Cardboard's made out of recycled materials. Maybe it's recycled toilet paper, and that's why it's brown. Oh, I was trying to time it to get water to squirt out of your nose, man. I was trying. I missed by a split second, I think. Dang it.
No, I wasn't going to do that. Oh, man.
That's pretty good, though, huh?
That's funny. Nice.
The cardboard crisis of 2021 stemming from the toilet paper shortage of 2020. Lack of recycled material. Now I understand why the cardboard's brown. That's what I said to him. We have a toilet paper factory across the road from us. So you are just rolling in the toilet paper, huh? You're walking down the street. Here's a roll. Here's a roll. Passing out sheets of toilet paper to everybody that you see.
Just get a paint roller, put it on there, and attach it to a leaf blower.
So there you go. There you go.
That's how you TP a house.
That's how you do it right there.
Yep.
couple of years ago, my house got TP'd because I'm a teacher, and students either they really either they really like you or they really hate you, and you can get TP'd either way, you know.
Yeah.
But they TP'd my house, but they did a terrible job. They were like, all the rolls of toilet paper were like still full rolls, like still full on rolls, like didn't use hardly anything off of it. So I was like collecting them. I just like put them in my cupboard, like all these ones that were like still like almost full, like 3/4 of the way or more full. I threw all the stuff that was stuck in the tree away. It was funny because they were expecting a reaction out of me. I knew exactly who it was, and they thought I was gonna get real mad about it, you know. And this is like 1 o'clock in the morning. I went out and I see my trees all toilet papered up, and so I just got out a ladder and I cleaned it up like super. Like it took me like 10 minutes, and I was done cleaning it up. And the next morning, like I get to school, and all the kids are like, "Hey, Mr. Carroll, I heard your house got toilet paper last night." And I was like, "I don't think so. No, I don't think so." And then they walked by my house like right after school, and they're like, "Where'd it go?" Because they were like, "Surely he has not had time to clean this up. Like we went at like 1:30 in the morning. There's no way he had time to clean this up." But I was out there on my ladder with my pole saw. I got a big old long telescoping pole saw, you know,
Yep.
like one of those big like 15 footers or whatever. And so I had this pole saw and I was extended way out there, standing on top of the ladder, getting all this toilet paper down. But I mean, it was so fast to clean up. That was like seriously 10 minutes and I was done. And most of it I just put in my cupboard to save it for for the toilet paper crisis of 2020 that nobody knew was going to happen. And I was like, man, thanks guys. It really hooked me up. I got doorbell ditched today, and they were able to get away from my video doorbell. And I'm not sure how they did it. I'm a little impressed. I'm like, okay, guys, you guys are stepping up your game now.
That's funny.
I got one of these video doorbells, and they were able to somehow. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see, that was them. It was this one, I think. Come on, phone, wake up. Oh, that was the post office lady. It was this one here. Man, they were like, I'm a little ticked off by it. Like, I don't know, you probably can't even see. They're like just barely off to the side. You see them?
Yep.
They got away. That's like the only screen grab that I could get with those that I could get from them. And I was like, dang it. I can see that it's a girl and I can see what they kind of look like. But like I seriously got like, oh, I know who it is. They made a mistake. Oh, they made a mistake. I caught them. Because they've been to my house before. They're on the dang four-wheelers. I know exactly who it is.
That's funny.
They thought they got away with it, but they haven't done it since I got this video doorbell. But
That's
they're getting smarter at it, though. They're evolving. I like the problem solving, the engineering. What is it? The engineering process, the iteration of their plan. You know, changing things up, trying to get at me.
Yep.
They did pretty good this time. They almost got away. But you know what they did? They parked their four-wheelers way on the side of the house, and then they ran over and rang the doorbell. And then when they ran away, they got on the four-wheelers and they drove right in front of the house. Like if they had driven the other way, then I would not have caught them. I'd have been like, I don't know who this is, but because they didn't do it, they drove right in front of the house, and I was like, there's the four-wheelers right there.
That's funny.
I recognize them.
That's funny.
But anyways, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what projects you got going on. And with my new larger printer, you know what I'm gonna have to print? A bullet bill.
It's gonna take you several days, man.
You remember Joel Telling's gigantic bullet bill that he printed?
Yep.
I'm gonna have to print one.
Yeah.
Big. I'm gonna have to order a bunch of filament. My wife's gonna hate me. She's gonna be like, "No, you're not doing this for a giant bullet bill." And then she'll be like, "What are you gonna do with this?" I'm gonna sell it. Is what I'm gonna do.
That's funny.
Oh, next year I think coming up in September, I think we're gonna do another one of those fundraisers where we raise money for Operation Underground Railroad. Make a giant bullet bill.
There you go.
Do that at the fundraiser. That'd be like my big ticket item. You know what I mean? How much do you think that I should charge for a bullet bill last night? It's going to take like 100 hours to print or more, probably more.
Probably more. I'm not sure.
All right. I think it's time for us to wrap it. It's been an hour,
Yep.
and you've got to get to bed.
I do. Back to bed.
I've got to eat dinner. I haven't eaten dinner yet. It's 11 o'clock. I haven't eaten dinner yet. That's how it goes in my house sometimes. I feed my kids and my wife, and I send them to bed, and then I go eat dinner later. That's how I do it. But thank you, everybody who joined us today. If you're watching us live, thank you. We appreciate you guys being here. If you're watching us after the fact, replay, also your views are appreciated. Let us know what kind of projects you'd like to see us tackle. If there's any type of segments that you'd like for us to specifically have on the show, because I want to reimagine this into a little more of a show and not just a hangout session, because I feel like we could just hang out whenever we want to. Let's do something big time for the show, and we'll figure it out. But thank you everybody for watching, and I guess we'll see you next week over on this guy's channel.
All right. Catch you all later. Have a good one.
Good night, guys.